After our last entry was interrupted by unseen spirits, perhaps we should get right into the entry so we do not lose track of time and so we do not lose any more footage.
Right. Yes, that makes sense. Those whispers, well, more than whispers now, were really ominous. I suppose we should note that we are recording this entry the same night as when we were interrupted by the voices. We actually ended up moving our equipment to a different place and just hoping for the best.
Yet it won't be long until they find us here.
Wait. You mean they'll follow us here? To my own.
Don't name the location. It'll be easier for them to track us down. Now, like I said, we should move right along into the stories.
I heard them. This isn't good. I think we should just move somewhere.
Be brave, Emmett. We are part of the Mystica Obscura Foundation. If you are too frightened by voices, then maybe you aren't fit to be part of the Mystic Archives.
Are you okay, sir? I thought I heard. Well, it sounds weird, but your voice sounded, well, off in a way.
I'm fine. For the last time now, get on with the entry before the night ends.
I'm sorry. Well, from our last entry, we stated that there have been many disappearances around the town of Potter's Hill, and with a combination of old records, it seems to be a similar pattern. Additionally, a recurring symbol, the double triangles, one being right side up while the other being upside down with the line through the middle, also seems to be a similar cult icon. I suppose I'll get to it by the end. Well, from the last entry, beginning in the 1600s, there have been a multitude of odd happenings. Vanishings, killings, cult rituals, and even possession. But the strange fact is that separate towns all across the country had sudden spikes of these rare occurrences. It's like each year an evil spirit chooses a different location to take up residency. This year, unfortunately, it is in Potter's Hill. Halfway through the year, there have been a total of 14 disappearances. No traces, no tracks, nothing to follow. Other attempted capturings have taken place, as well as potential rituals like the one we had retold earlier. I spent some time with the teenager in that entry, and he is, well, still shaken up about it. However, I was not allowed into the home because of the parents. They seemed defensive about it, despite my saying that I was there to help what was in the attic. They had a strange tone to their voice as well. It was almost guttural, like their words were being forced out, and they always frowned at me, angered at my presence. When they closed the door on me, I immediately noticed something. Hanging on the door was an upside-down triangle made of twigs and bramble. I tried not to look at it for too long before I headed out. I can't let this odd cult get to my head so easily. After my time trying to get a look at the attic symbols, I went searching for others who had connections to the recent disappearances. At one of the diners in town, I got into contact with someone named Naomi. It was very recent what happened to her family, just a few days after the ritual in the attic. But the way Naomi describes the actions and feelings of her and her sibling seems to be a widespread thing across Potter's Hill. It began at the beginning of the year, according to her. An odd sensation that something was watching them and trying to reach out to them. Nearly every night, and always between 2 and 3 a.m., both Naomi and her sister Hannah were drawn to suddenly wake up and walk over to their windows. Their house was close to a nearby forest, where they could barely see through it in the night, but also where the mountain ranges could be easily seen. When the family had moved in, they fell in love with the scenery, being closer to nature, seeing the beauty of it all. But during the night was when those serene feelings morphed into those of fear. The lure of the mountains. Hannah whispered it to herself almost too often. Naomi heard her mumble, "The mountains, fire in the mountains," several times throughout the day, though she wouldn't be talking to anyone. Naomi's parents began to worry about her when she refused to eat. It got so bad that they could only force down soup just to make sure she had something in her system. Their mother took some days off of work to take Hannah to the doctor, but the strange behavior took a twist when suddenly Hannah acted like herself when they got to the doctor's office. Her skin returned to normal rather than the extremely paleness she had before. Once they returned home with nothing wrong, it only took a matter of days before the same cycle repeated itself. This time, though, Naomi stayed awake during the night instead of being woken up by some invisible spell. Eventually it worked, where Naomi decided to sneak into Hannah's room and wonder what she did when that odd sensation called her to the window. One night, as Naomi snuck into her sister's room, she could remember something that will forever be embedded into her memory. Creaking open the door, Naomi saw Hannah standing at the foot of the bed, completely still and breathing heavy. Cold puffs from her breath could be seen in the dark room, while the moonlight streamed inside. Hannah's pale skin had returned, and she had gotten much thinner, dangerously to the point of being hospitalized. Naomi almost reached out before Hannah shuffled over to the open window and stared outside for the longest time, her breath fogging up the glass. Ever so slightly, she bumped her head against the window. Thump, thump, over and over again until she suddenly stood rigid. Naomi covered her mouth as she gasped in shock. The window was moving on its own. It was opening now, letting the cold wind come through. Then, if Naomi wasn't terrified enough, Hannah's head turned almost all the way around and stared at her sister with pale gray eyes, smiling at her with an unnaturally wide grin. "The mountain will claim you next," she said in a gargled and choked voice. Before Naomi could stand up and call out to her sister, Hannah had already climbed out of the window and jumped outside. Naomi's screaming woke up her parents, who rushed inside and saw the open window. Immediately they gathered what they could to go out and find where Hannah might go. The answer was obvious. The woods. The mountains. Naomi heard her parents' desperate cries outside, their heavy footsteps entering the forest, and then nothing. Silence. Naomi didn't dare to go outside into the woods at night. She knew he was cursed. She knew her sister was gone. She had heard the whispers, trying to persuade her to go closer to the mountain. She had seen the distant flicker of fire far into the distance on the cliffs, and she swore that she saw figures in front of those flames, beckoning her and Hannah to come over. Lastly, and very unfortunately, Naomi waited, but no answer would come to her. Hannah never returned, and neither did her parents. All three of them were reported as missing, and they have never been found. Once again, no tracks, no traces, and the one survivor of it all is left traumatized and full of fear and paranoia. Before she left in tears, she left me one last thing, that she still heard the call, and she still saw the figures upon the mountain in front of the same fire, urging her to go there. She doesn't know how much longer she can withstand it. Now, I did want to try and help her, move her into a small motel for the time being or something like that, but she just ran off in a panic, like she had said too much or someone or something was already following her. I ran after her, but I don't really know this town well enough to know its small alleys and shortcuts. I lost her and I haven't seen her since. I just hope that she didn't end up in the woods or in those mountains. Sir?
Yes, sorry, Apprentice Emmett. I've gotten less sleep than usual.
Oh, yeah, I suppose so too, sir. What do you make of all this? I haven't seen this fire in the mountain yet, despite constantly looking at the mountain. But it seems like every night these anomalies happen, that fire is a key element to whatever powers them.
Key element. Yes, the fire is a symbolic gesture to some cults. It may be that whoever starts these fires have strong abilities in witchcraft, able to protrude senses such as this luring effect. Some witches are able to morph into animals like cats or bats, nocturnal beasts that can watch innocent folk in plain sight. It is a possibility that this witch cult has both personalities.
I've heard in some cults that the fires are a significant way of burning away their past selves, a cremation of self, so to speak. Is it like that?
Very much so, and quite possible. Even more than just symbolic gestures. But we do have leads now, and we will be busy these next few weeks, Now,
Do we open it?
wait. It could be anything.
We found you. Let us in.
It can't be. Black-eyed children?
Only one way to find out.
Wait, sir, are you sure we can...
You are home. It won't be long.
Their eyes.
Not now, Prince. I'm sorry, but you must leave. Your residency is elsewhere.
As is yours. Come with us. Return to the hill.
We will do no such thing. Depart from this place. You are not allowed.
We will come back soon. Be ready to depart.
That was terrifying. Their eyes, sir. They were all black. I thought they'd only exist in folklore and ghost stories. I didn't expect this at all.
In ghost stories, you say. Perhaps some paranormal tales are true. Tonight we've uncovered one.
I suppose so. What do they mean by returning to a hill? They seem to be directly talking to you. Maybe they didn't acknowledge me for some reason. It's just all too strange for me.
There are some things best kept hidden. They are after me because I delved too deep into the darker side of spiritualism. There is a hill where nothing grows, at the foot of the mountain. There is a relic there that must never be unearthed.
A relic? What sort of relic? Why didn't you tell me this before? I've been nothing but open and honest with you. I didn't think you'd keep secrets this vital to our research away from me.
What's said is said. Do not go to that hill. The buried relic
I know
is...
what you said. I'm just hurt that you've kept things from me. Each sound I hear is becoming clearer. The negative auras are increasing.
And the red moon draws closer. Its phase will cause many apparitions to come forth. We must be prepared.
Perhaps there's more things that can be found before that time comes. More information than I can know. From you.